So the first half of the MLB season is in the books. Pete Alonso has defended his title as the Home Run Derby champion. The American League continued their dominance over the National League in the All-Star game, and we are all set on focusing on the second half. But before we do that, I'm going to hand out the first half awards for Major League Baseball. We're going to do the MVP, the Cy Young, and a lot more. Guys, I'm Tony Metro. Welcome to my channel. If you guys are new, be sure to subscribe and put channel notifications on so you know when I drop a new video on Major League Baseball. So I am geeking out on the second half of Major League Baseball, especially as a New York Mets fan, and we're playing pretty well right now, but you never know. Things can change very quickly. There's still a lot of baseball to be played. But today, I want to hand out the awards for the first half of the season. We're going to do, like I mentioned, the most valuable player, the Cy Young Awards, and then a little bit different. Instead of Silver Sluggers and Gold Glovers, we're going to do most disappointing team, most surprising team, and then we're going to do the first All MLB team in baseball. So your American League MVP, is it really even a question? Shohei Ohtani is the American League most valuable player. He leads all of baseball with 33 home runs, has 70 RBIs, and an OPS over 1,000. And he's been equally as great on the mound. If you take away his one bad start against the Yankees in which he gave up 7 runs in the first inning, he's made 12 starts, pitched 66 innings, and has a sub-2 ERA. He is finally living up to the hype that we all thought that he would have when he first came to Major League Baseball a few years ago, and it all came to a crown this week when he participated in the Home Run Derby and was the starting pitcher for the American League team in the All-Star game. Ohtani has truly emerged as the second coming of Babe Ruth, and it has been so exciting to see. We are witnessing history, and if Ohtani continues on this pace, it will go down as one of the single greatest seasons in Major League Baseball history. And speaking of making history, your National League MVP has done a ton of that in the first 2 years of his career, and that is shortstop Fernando Tatis of the San Diego Padres. Tatis has been electrifying this year. 28 home runs, 60 RBIs, and 20 stolen bases. He has been a complete star in every possible way on the field this year. Tatis, we know, is going to be a San Diego Padre for a long time, which is unfortunate because so many teams could use a player of his caliber. In fact, I just made a video the other day, 5 bold predictions for the trade deadline. You guys can watch that at the end of this video. On the season, Tatis has a .656 slugging percentage, which is not too far off the career mark for Babe Ruth, but you can't ignore the lightning rod that Tatis has been this year for the San Diego Padres. And with Ronald Acuna out for the remainder of the season, you can bet all of your money that Fernando Tatis will be the National League MVP at season's end. So there are your American League and National League MVPs. Let's move on to the Cy Young. One of them is very obvious, the other league not so much. Let's start with the obvious one. Your National League Cy Young, winning his 3rd in 4 years, is New York Mets pitcher Jacob deGrom. deGrom has been the best pitcher in baseball since he won his first Cy Young in 2018, but this season he has kicked it into another gear. In his first 12 starts this year, deGrom gave up 1 run or less, and in 15 starts overall this year, the most amount of runs he's given up were 3 against the Atlanta Braves. His season ERA sits at 1.08, and I won't even bother getting into the advanced analytics because they are equally as good. deGrom, just like Ohtani, is having a historic season, and if he continues on this pace, he will cement himself not only as one of the greatest pitchers of his generation, but potentially of all time. The American League has a lot of deserving winners for the Cy Young, from Garrett Cole to Robbie Ray and Kyle Gibson, but after doing some advanced research along with the standard metrics, I'm going with Carlos Rodon. Rodon's had a great season for the White Sox. He threw a no-hitter earlier in the season and has a 2.31 ERA, which is 3rd in the American League. He also leads all of baseball with a 36% K rate. And if you take a look at the advanced metrics, he also leads the league in SIERA and expected fielding independent pitching. Rodon has made 15 starts this year, and in all but 4 of them has given up 1 run or less. And if he continues, he definitely is my pick for the American League Cy Young in 2021. So there are your AL and NL Cy Young awards. Before we go to the All MLB First Team, let's do a new award, the most surprising and most disappointing teams. And I don't think it comes as any surprise that the most disappointing team has been the New York Yankees. The Yankees, the quintessential MLB franchise who haven't had a losing season in over 20 years, are on the precipice of doing that this year. They're just 3 games over 500 right now, 8 games back in the American League East, and things are not looking good for Brian Cashman or for manager Aaron Boone. In fact, I just made a video earlier this week discussing why the Yankees should fire Aaron Boone. You guys can check that out at the end of this video. It has been a season full of gut punches for the New York Yankees. As soon as it looks like they're ready to get back on track, they take a terrible loss, like the one they took to the Angels a few weeks ago, the Mets the following week, and then of course the day before the All-Star break to the Houston Astros. This team has seemed content with just coasting in the regular season over the last few years, but now with 3 other really good teams in their division, including the Blue Jays, the Red Sox, and the Rays, the Yankees may find themselves on the outside looking in come October. The most surprising team this year, at least in a good way, are the San Francisco Giants. I won't even lie, I had the Giants pegged for 4th place, or maybe by luck, 3rd place by default behind the Padres and behind the Dodgers in the National League West. Instead, the Giants have the best record in Major League Baseball and lead both of those teams. I remember after the first month of the season, I said, it's fool's gold. They'll never last. They don't have the pitching. Instead, Anthony DeSclafani and Kevin Gausman have made me eat crow and have pitched like frontline starters all season long. Meanwhile, that washed offense, not so much. Brandon Crawford and Buster Posey are both having huge seasons and were NL All-Stars this year, and it doesn't seem like the Giants are looking back. And if things keep up this way, they might just win the National League West in the biggest surprise of the season. And in lieu of doing Silver Slugger and Gold Glove Awards, we're going to do the All MLB First Team for the first half of the 2021 season. Leading it off at catcher, it is Sal Perez of the Kansas City Royals. Perez, who battled injuries over the last few years, is having a resurgent season. He has 21 home runs, 53 RBIs. His OPS leaves a little bit to be desired, so I was pressed to put Posey or Omar Narvaez in here instead, but Perez has been a run producer all season, so he gets the nod at catcher. At first base, it's clearly Vladdy Jr. He's having a ridiculous season, 28 home runs, 70 RBIs, and an OPS over 1,000. He has officially arrived, and he is your All MLB team first baseman. At second base, I wanted to put Max Muncy, but he really has played more first base this year, so I didn't really think it'd be fair. So I'm going to go with Jose Altuve, who's having a bounce back season himself. 20 home runs on the year, and he's been playing tremendous despite the scrutiny against the Houston Astros. At shortstop, we already ran through it. There's no need to say anything more about the National League MVP, Fernando Tatis Jr. Your All MLB First Team third baseman is Rafael Devers of the Boston Red Sox. 22 home runs, over 70 RBIs, and an OPS hovering right around 1,000. Devers continues to be one of the most quiet superstars in all of baseball. Out in left field, this one's a little bit difficult. Jesse Winker's having a really good season, but I gotta go with Kyle Schwarber. He was slugging before he got injured, has 25 home runs on the year. Winker has a little bit better of a slash line, but when you compare their OPS, they're very comparable. So I'm going to give the nod to Kyle Schwarber out in left field. In center field, this guy's not getting enough love, I don't think. It's Baltimore Orioles Cedric Mullins. He's having a breakout season, 16 home runs, a crazy slash line, and through the first half of the season, he's accumulated a 3.7 WAR. And in right field, we have the Braves' Ronald Acuna. Unfortunately, he's going to miss the rest of the season after tearing his ACL, but he was having a great first half. 24 home runs, an OPS just below 1,000. Even as a Mets fan, wishing him a speedy recovery. And lastly, the designated hitter. I mean, just like the MVP, it's obvious. Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani, like I said, 33 home runs this year, leads all of baseball in that category, and has just been crushing the ball all season. He is your designated hitter for the first team All MLB team. I want to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comment section below, what is your All MLB first team for the first half of the season? Who did I get right for the first half awards, and who did I get wrong? Are the Giants and the Yankees the most surprising and most disappointing teams of the 2021 season? And stay tuned for my upcoming video being released this weekend, one trade for each of the contending teams in Major League Baseball.